And are there occasions and times where maybe parents' involvement is not always productive?
Okay, well, with your permission, can I do something a little bit creative?
Sure.
Okay, I promise I won't take very long. All right, I'm going to run this like I would run my critical reasoning class back home. So I'm going to tell you about something that is happening in Hong Kong, which I'm not going to make any judgment on. I want you guys to tell me if you think this is good or not. Okay, this is Hong Kong's latest trend. Actually, it's not even a trend because it's been going on for quite a while. And it has to do with the community because it's about private schools. So in Hong Kong, just to give you a little bit of background, there are two types of schools in Hong Kong. There's international schools, which are private schools. And I'm sure that if any of you guys move to Hong Kong tomorrow, you will try to sign your son or daughter up in an international school, because that's usually what foreign people who live in Hong Kong, the expats, do. International schools are very popular because they teach in English. And then there's local schools. So local schools are the public schools, and they teach primarily still using Cantonese. Okay, and local schools are very, very crowded. They're very difficult to get into. And you're talking about 30 plus kids in a class. It's very traditional Chinese style learning. I don't think any of you guys would want that. Okay, so international schools is something that I am very interested in as a parent and also as an educator. And the way you get into these international schools is by interview. So you go and you try to get an interview, or they will assess you. Now what the international schools are doing is they're interviewing students, but they're giving priority to those who have purchased a debenture. Have you guys heard of this word debenture before? How many of you guys went to a school which used the debenture system? Raise your hand. No? So, how many of you guys know of a school right now that uses the debenture system in the countries that you live in?
Variation.
Variation. Okay, so in Hong Kong, the debenture system is actually very interesting. What it is that for a certain amount of money, you can buy this thing called a debenture. And what that means is you have to be a corporation to buy it. Okay, so you have to be a company to buy this corporate debenture. So say you are, I don't know, Morgan Stanley, and you want your employees to get into the best international school in Hong Kong, no matter how dumb this kid is. You just want them to get in, because then you can attract a lot of employees. So you buy this debenture from the school, and the school will sell it to you. The school will sell it to you, and if they don't sell it to you, if they're all out, which at the moment they are, you can buy it on the secondary market. So there's actually a market where you can buy these things called debentures. Does anyone have any idea how much they're trading for in the Hong Kong market? Can anyone? Okay, take a guess. Well, what's your guess? Just randomly. Just to get into a school, just to get into a normal international. These aren't even that great. I mean, they're just a 40,000 US. Okay, anybody going above 40,000? $45,000. Okay, remember this does not guarantee you in. This is only to give you priority. So that 50,000. Okay, we 50,000. Yeah. $250,000. Okay, $250,000. Very good. Anybody else above $250,000? We're talking about $250,000 US dollars. We're using US currency.
This is for all the kids.
All the kids. Anyone can buy this debenture on the secondary market if you are a corporation. You can buy one for your employees.
But it only gives you the interview.
It only gives you, well, at some schools it gets you in.
Okay.
At some schools it gives you just the interview. At some schools it gives you interview plus brownie points. Okay? So, okay, at a school which doesn't get you in, gives you brownie points. How much are we talking? $250,000. Anybody going above that? Who says $500,000? Okay, $500,000. It is going at currently trading value $800,000 US. One student. One student. Yeah. One student. You're in the wrong business. Exactly. One student. You buy it for $800,000. And what you do is, that means a company now has a stake, right? Because they've now bought something which is tradable on a secondary market. They have every stake in the world to make sure that that school continues to be top-notch. Okay. So here's where the critical reasoning comes in. Why would a system want to do that? Who would want this kind of system? Well, can anyone think of anything good about this system? Anything else? There's got to be good stuff, right?
gets you great teachers, you would hope. If the school uses the money for books, tools, technology, and teacher salary, then I guess it would be okay to charge that much, but otherwise not.
Right. Okay, very good point. They can use it for facilities, which they have, amazing facilities. Hong Kong, as you all know, is a very expensive city. To get facilities, to build something, any of these schools that we've been talking about would just cost millions of dollars. So yes, they do have very good facilities. What else?
The companies will probably hire the people who pass them.
What?
The companies will probably look to hire the people who graduate and make sure that they finish their education and come back to the company.
Okay, so maybe the company, maybe by buying the stake, maybe they have a vested interest. Maybe they want to make sure then that this school will teach them the skills that they need, right, later on when they look for employees. Anybody else?
Hong Kong people are very smart, but they're not that smart. People buy these and overlook the fact that in all the international comparative studies of student achievement, Hong Kong, the public system comes way up the top. So actually, if I send my kid to a public school in Hong Kong, he or she will do very well anyway, and better than most kids in any other country. So these people are missing a trick. They're probably doing it for social exclusivity.
Okay, yeah. So a lot of people do try to get into public schools, right? But still, you're talking this is a different system, because if you want your kids to be educated in English, right, then your choices are narrow. You don't have a lot of choices. So that's one of the reasons. And another one is that you're talking huge classes. As good as the local schools are, there's still 30 plus kids a class, sometimes 40. Okay, so think about the kind of assessments and ways you can teach using 40 kids in one class with one teacher. I mean, we have a teacher of the year right here. How many students do you teach in your class? 25. Okay, and I think that's really big. Yeah, that's maximum. So imagine your maximum going up to 40, right? So that just gives you an idea of the kind of things they have to teach just to keep them under control. 40 kids, and that's a lot. Okay, but back to the main point. Any other pros? Yes.
That's the pros.
Yes, pros.
Just talking.
Okay. Okay, let's talk about pros. Any other pros? Remember, vested interest. The biggest companies in Hong Kong all buy this. This is as big as the stock market. There are brokers, okay, who are dedicated to doing this. Their lives. Yeah.
Maybe companies hope that when the children graduate, they come and work in the business.
Okay, yeah, that's similar to what she was saying. Anything else? Anything different? Yes.
I think you have a lot of, if you're a company, you often add something to your employees.
Absolutely.
It's a status symbol.
Very, yes.
Part of this company.
Exactly.
Your children have an opportunity as well.
Exactly. So as an economy, right, and as a country, what that means is we know that our employees can get spots in the top schools. How many companies can say that, right? I mean, you can only hope, right? You can hope that you attract an employee. Maybe their son or daughter has the right characteristics to get in the school. But how great would it be as a company, as a business owner, right? If you knew for a fact that you could get these employees in. Then as a society, as an economy, Hong Kong benefits, right? Hong Kong's got to benefit from this. And that's one of the reasons, a very big reason. And that's one of the ways you can see that the corporation, right, and the whole economy is now playing a role directly in these schools. Okay, what about the cons? Who wants to go for it? There's a lot of cons here.
Unequal access.
Unequal access, exactly. Think about it as, education is not supposed to be something that is corporate. It's not supposed to be a capitalist thing. It is the one thing that should act as a vehicle for social mobility. You are putting a price tag on social mobility, right? Yes, I mean, this gentleman here said the local schools are very good. Local schools are very hard to get into, number one. Not all local schools are good. Not all local schools are made the same. That's number two. The other point is, you're still talking about huge sizes, right? I mean, how much quality education can you get with 40 other children? Right? So that's a big problem in Hong Kong, is the fact that it's unequal access. And you're putting a price tag, direct price tag, trading on a market that is fluctuating, just like the stock market, every day. Right? Any other pros or cons? Okay, that's all I wanted to say. Okay, so just to keep you guys thinking, that I think that is one of the ways of collaboration that's currently happening in Hong Kong, which is not good, It just shows you one of many, many examples that I have on the over-commoditization of education. Okay?
Thank you so much, Katie. Extremely interesting, and so interesting how different countries vary in their education. So we want to hear a maximum from the panel.